Hello and welcome to today's episode on the Experience Exchange. And I am so glad that you decided to join us tonight. And our guest is here. It's going to be an interesting discussion. And if you have your questions, please do well to drop them in the comments box. And she's going to do her best to address all of the questions. So tonight we are looking at teaching opportunities beyond Japan, and we are also going to be looking at professional growth. So I am bringing up our guest right now. Hi, Shally.
Hey,
Thank you for being here. I'm so excited.
thank you for having me. I'm so excited too.
Okay, so we will just go right into it.
Okay.
Um, Okay, so I have a couple of questions for you. So, and I believe you are going to address them, as much as possible.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the first question that I have for you. So you said you have a background in French education. I was actually surprised when I heard that. So, yeah. So with your background in French and education, what skills helped you most when you transitioned into teaching English abroad?
Okay, so one of the skills that helped me is my communication skills and my love for language.
Ah,
Um, I speak English, I speak
yeah.
French. Also,
Whoa.
I have always I started teaching since 2016. So my teaching experience also helped in, me getting the role as an ALT then. So I'll say my love for language, my teaching experience, and also my love for growth. Yeah, so these are the things that helped me in securing the position as an ALT in Japan.
What? 2016? I was still in the university. Wow, that's a long, long time. Wow,
Right.
you're a veteran. So, so okay, thank you so much for that. So, can you please tell us some of the biggest challenges that you faced when you began teaching abroad? What were the challenges? I am really curious to know.
Yeah, I mean, you're here, so you should know. The first thing was the language barrier. Up to now, I'm still trying to learn Japanese, and it's very difficult. It's really very
Sorry.
difficult. So I'm almost at the verge of giving up. But no, I
Every
just
time I give up every time. Like
yeah. So the language was was a huge challenge for me, as not even as a teacher because I didn't need Japanese to teach in
to
my
teach.
school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So just personally coming to Japan, settling in Japan, I knew no one here, talking to people. I was like, how do I communicate? How do I ask questions? So it was very difficult. I remembered when I was to move to my new city, I got to the station, I started crying because it was just difficult. No one understood English, and I was really frustrated. So the language was a huge, or is still a challenge, but
Yeah. Mm.
grateful I have been able to learn a little bit Japanese, and I can communicate with gestures and just a little bit, so it's better than before. But when I first came, the language was really difficult. The second was the culture. I'll say the
Mm.
culture, because the Japanese culture is totally different from ours, especially Nigerian culture, right? And for work, the punctuality, it was something I had to work on, because
Worker.
Nigerian, this African time, we're so used to the African time. And
True.
in fact, when I was working, it's in Nigeria, it's not a good thing, but yeah, there are times I go to work late, stuff like that. I'm like, whatever. It's not a good thing.
Here.
Yeah,
Mm.
I dare not. I can't even do it. So I had to adjust to the culture, the work culture, especially.
Mm.
Being your best. There's no room for mediocrity in Japan when you're working. So you have to
Right.
put
Right.
forward. So
Mm.
all of that was, it's not like I always give my best, but here I was like, you know what, you're representing not just your family but your country.
Country.
You have to give your best. So I
Mm,
really just to the culture, the apart from that, the general culture, the greetings,
mm,
the food, yeah, it was a challenge, a bit of a challenge, but I had to adjust. And yeah, it's been fun. So and coming to teaching, I'll also say the teaching styles different from the way it is in my country. The
mm.
resources, everything is just different.
That's
So
right.
coming here, I just had to learn. I've learned a lot living in Japan. So I just had an open mind to learn and to adjust to the system. Yeah.
Mm, wow. Talking about, the language, but I remember one particular thing that happened to me. I think that was my first week here. You know,
Okay.
I couldn't believe I was actually more like very close to my house, but I kept
Mm.
walking for hours. Like
Was
I walked and walked until I was like, you know what? I can't die in silence anymore. I was trying to navigate with the Google map. It wasn't helping me. So I walked up
yeah.
to this couple and somehow they understood that I was lost. It didn't even take up to 4 minutes. And we
Mm.
were at my, oh my God, I felt so embarrassed. You know,
Yeah. It
it
happened
was,
when I moved to my new apartment. I went to work, got back at 6. I spent close to 3 hours finding my, and it was just about 10 minutes, 10 minutes walk from the station. I spent 3 hours. I was like, oh God, what do I do? The Google map was just not Googling.
it
Couldn't,
wasn't, it was, it can be
you know,
somehow, you
it
know.
was very difficult, but I'm glad I've been able to, understand how to navigate my way here in Japan and
Mm,
you
mm.
have as well. So
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Thank you. All right. So I think we'll move on to the other part of this discussion. So I think even for me, I sometimes think about you know other things that I can do, how I can improve, how I can grow in this teaching. And I know there are so many teachers out there who do not just want to remain an ALT, especially those in Japan, even those planning to come. Because
mm,
as I was planning to come, I was already also making, other plans and all of that. So, what's your advice for ALTs who don't want to remain just ALTs forever? You know.
okay, so the first thing I would say is have the interest to grow, to learn, because that's one thing I was taught. Always learn. Wherever you find yourself, try to learn. And that's what the Japanese do. When you're teaching English, they want to learn. The teachers want to learn. They want to know what you know. So wherever
Mm,
you try to learn as much as you can. So that is one. Be open-minded to growing and learning.
mm,
Also, you should learn the language. It's also important. But before that, I don't speak Japanese fluently, but I was able to transition from ALT to being a homeroom teacher in Japan. And I'll say
mm,
one of the things that helped me was like my knowledge in teaching, my experience. So that's why I say always be open minded to grow, to learn different things. Yeah, but if you want to teach or work in other industries like tech or whatever, you need to learn. You still need to learn, what you need to do. Like if you're going into tech and you have no knowledge about it, how do you want to do it? So
oh,
ensure, yes, you learn and learn the language. It's very important. If you want
mm,
to pivot, if you want to go to other industries, you have to learn Japanese. Be open
mm,
to learning. Also, be courageous. We usually have this fear that, oh my gosh, the only job I can do in Japan is ALT. And some people are not even looking for other opportunities. They just want to, they've given up. They feel this is all that I can do here because I don't speak the language. But you don't have to limit yourself. No one should limit themselves, or just be open minded, learn, and take that bold step. Apply for whatever you want to apply for. If you want to move to tech, if you want to move to, healthcare, it is possible if only
mm,
you can speak the language. So knowing
right.
how to speak is very important, depending on the industry you like to work in, right? But for teaching, yes, you need to learn. You need to open your mind to learn a lot.
Mm,
So
mm.
that's it generally.
Oh, that's nice. And I believe, like, I wanted to say later, but I think that will be the next question, because you've actually, talked about how you were able to transition from being an ALT to being a homeroom teacher. So I think that's closely tied to my next question for you. So you are going to go in details. Do you have any success stories yourself or others of teachers who moved into better roles?
Yes, I do. And for myself, like I just said, I used to be an ALT, but I was tired and I was like, you know what? I need to do something more because I do not like being idle. And sometimes at work, as an ALT, when the kids are on break or something, you just sit there doing nothing. So I felt I needed something more. Also, I used to be a teacher, like an early years teacher in my in Nigeria. So I wanted to continue in that department. I wanted to work with kids. I wanted to, share more because I felt I had so much knowledge to just keep down and just sit down doing nothing. So
Mm,
that's why, hey, let me go for this. And with my knowledge and experience, I was able to get the role. So for those who want to um, move to who want to work in the international schools, who want to teach, who want to become homeroom teachers and not ALTs, you just have to just go for it, apply. And like I'll always say, you just have to learn. So wherever you are, you just have to learn. Because during the interview, what are you going to say? What you'll say is what you know. So
what
knowledge
you
is power. And as a person, I do not joke with knowledge. And no
mm,
knowledge is lost, no matter how
mm,
little. So you need to learn a lot.
right.
So
Mm.
yeah, so I moved from being an ALT to being a homeroom teacher, and so far it has been good. It hasn't been easy. I
More
miss
responsibility.
yes,
Mm.
I miss the free times I used to have as an ALT. I missed it so much, but then it's what we gotta do because of passion. I'll say passion for
Yeah. Mm.
yeah.
Mm. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, so can you make a comparison, like you actually talked about missing the free time. I think if I eventually get a transition, I am going to miss the free time because I got to do a lot of things with the
Mm.
free time. So yeah, can you make just some comparison?
Okay, so working as an international or as a homeroom teacher, you have more responsibilities. You have to
Mm,
do plan. So when I was an ALT, I did not used to do lesson plan, just a few, once in a while my JTE would just ask me, okay, just create a slide for this, for that. So I had less responsibilities. All I needed to do was just go to the class and just, do what we do.
mm,
So, but here it's different. You have more responsibilities. You have to be in the classroom, like you are the class teacher, you have to be in the classroom, you have to prepare your lesson plans, you have to do order things, you have deadlines to meet. So as
mm,
you prepare lesson plans, you have deadlines. You have to write your reports, kids reports, or your students reports. You have to do that. You have to meet with parents one on one. We usually have this parents teacher conference, PTC. So you have
okay.
to do that. You have to speak to parents. You have to let them know how
How do you do that? I'm curious.
bilingual school. So I have in my class there is a homeroom teacher, which is the English homeroom teacher, and we also have the Japanese homeroom teacher. So during
Ah,
PT, I just say what I have to say, and the Japanese teacher will, you know, translate in Japanese. So,
I see.
but usually it's really very funny because most times the parents will be talking, and I'll just be like, "Hmm, okay, okay."
And be all smiles.
Yeah. And oh gosh, learning the language is very important, honestly,
Very,
because
I agree. I agree.
and because I don't speak Japanese, the parents feel more comfortable talking to the Japanese teachers. So sometimes they're laughing, and I'm just there like, okay, no, but I just like, it's just it's crazy. So so imagine doing that for like 13, 15 kids. I mean, parents,
Oh,
15.
yeah, yeah.
But then
Mm,
that is it's my responsibility to be in the meeting and give feedback to the parents. So
mm,
it's different from the ALT role. Because when I was
Yeah.
an ALT, I never saw, okay, parents, maybe during graduation, that's when I get to see
To see the
parents,
parents. Yeah.
them feedback directly. It wasn't, I wasn't to do that.
Mm,
So different. Also,
mm,
I have to attend meetings, open meetings, and participate in events. Like I have to actively participate in school events. When I was,
events.
it was not really compulsory. Sports day, I was not really given any role to play. It was not really
Yeah.
compulsory, but you know how serious graduation is, how serious the sports event is.
Course. Yeah.
I have to do
Excursions, field road trips, and all. Mm,
everything. So the kids are my responsibility now. So I have to be very I have to give in my best. So it's different from the ALT rule. So
mm,
that's a main difference. You have more responsibility at
mm.
home.
Wow, interesting. Interesting. For someone who likes to do a lot of things like me, I think I will find it interesting. But anyways, thank you so much for that. All right. So we are going to move soon into, teaching opportunities in other countries, but I think this is the last question about Japan, or the second to the last question about Japan anyways. So what do you think are the advantages of teaching in Japan?
Okay, so for me, I'll say professional growth,
Hmm.
professional development, because teaching in Japan is like my first experience teaching abroad. I have never left the shores of Africa
Mm,
until 23. So here I get to learn. I love to learn. I mean, I've been saying that a lot. I love to learn, no matter how little or
mm,
yeah. So I have learned a lot working, even as an ALT. I learned a lot. As a homeroom teacher, I am still learning a lot.
mm.
So also professional development is one of the advantages of teaching in Japan. You have to you get to learn from the best of the best. And you know when it comes to Japan, like I said, there is no room for mediocrity.
It has
Everything
to be perfect.
that
Mm,
so you're learning from the best, those who have the wealth of knowledge. You're
yeah.
pouring into you. So to me, I do not take that for granted. I am always open to, grab as much as I can right now. That is one. I'll also say respect for people and respect for teachers. In Japan,
True.
teachers
Mm.
are respected compared to where I'm coming from, where you tell someone you're a teacher
I
and they
know. Just look at you,
just look down on you like, oh gosh, this is just a teacher. But it's
Mm.
different because
Here.
yeah, as a teacher, you are respected by parents and just the society. And
Mm,
that's one of the advantages. Another advantage I would say is learning the culture, like the Japanese culture, being punctual,
mm.
giving your best, or being honest. You have to be, honest and everything. So this culture kind of shapes me. It has actually helped me a lot because I had to adjust and it has become part of
Of
me. Like
course. True. True.
look at the meeting. I joined in early.
Early, like in Nigeria, we'll have to. Our guest speaker is on the way. She's going to join us shortly, and that's some 30 minutes into the program.
Yes, and so that quality is something I do not take for granted anymore. So the
Yeah.
culture, those little things that we used to take for granted in Nigeria, are not we don't take them for granted here. You have
Yeah.
to learn to follow the rules and everything. And at the end of the day, you notice that your life is different. The way you think is
True.
different. The
True.
way you act. And someone was telling me today, she was like, if you go back to your country, you will notice the difference, right? And I was,
I
of
can't
course,
even imagine because
it's
it's
different
totally
because
different.
totally you just can't live your life anyhow. You just can't do anyhow in Japan,
Mm,
and really helps me. So if you're a person who likes to, grow, if you're someone who really likes to be organized, living in Japan will help you a lot in those areas.
mm.
So yes, also the opportunities to meet people from different countries because
Different
Japan
countries. Hmm.
different qualities. I've met teachers from all over the world. I work with them.
Everywhere.
Of course,
Everywhere.
that connection is something
Mm,
really grateful for. And so basically, just it. There's a lot of
mm,
in Japan.
mm,
Oh,
mm.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. All right. So I know you have the experience, you know about, teaching opportunities in many other countries or in other countries, let me not say many. I don't know how many you know. So from your experience, how is teaching in Japan different from the other countries that you know?
Well, like I've mentioned, I would say respect. Oh, okay, not just that, just the rules. I'll just say rules in Japan.
Mm,
I've not really lived in those countries, so I cannot really say, okay, this is how it is in this country and this is how it is. But from what I have heard and just people talking about that country generally, I'll just say Japan is really, they do not take things for granted. Like if you're a teacher, they expect you to act differently. How
mm,
else can I explain this? Like you're being given, you need to live up to expectation as a teacher.
expectation, yeah, yeah.
That so it's different from other countries because I see other, first of all, the way you dress. Example, I see other teachers in other countries, and the way they dress, tattoos, they wear jeans, they do this, and I'm like, you can't do
All of
that.
the nah.
So you are held in high, high. You are really,
Regard, something like that. Yeah.
so you have to live up to that expectation. You can't be dressing anyhow to work. Yeah.
Mm,
When I get to school, I have to take off my earrings because it's not allowed in my school. So there are some
mm,
rules, you know, that we must follow as teachers in Japan that they don't really mind. People don't really do that in other
true.
countries.
Yeah, true.
So what? So I'll say number one, mode of dressing. It is
Mm.
different. Also, I'll also say, yeah, generally your behavior as a teacher in Japan, you cannot, you have to, if the traffic lights, you have to obey traffic rules. It's very important.
Oh, very important.
But so
Very.
you're outside the classroom, you have to really behave because everyone is watching. The kids
Mm,
are watching. So what
yeah.
you do, is what you're teaching them, and that can be used against you.
Mm,
I've heard,
true.
yeah. So in Japan, you have to be mindful. Okay, I'm a teacher. I have to obey traffic lights, especially if there are students around you. It's a big deal. You just can't behave anyhow.
Anyhow. Mm.
I don't think it's the same in other countries. I have not heard anyone say things like that. In my country, I don't really, it's not really a thing. It's not a thing in my country. I don't think so. But in Japan, very important. It's very serious. Because
Mm.
I know someone who I think she disobeyed the traffic rules. She crossed when it was red, and students
Oh,
went to report to the principal, and the principal called her. She was shocked, like, what's going on? So you have to give yourself as a
yeah.
teacher. So that respect, you have to respect yourself as a
True.
teacher.
Mm.
Yeah, generally, I'll say that is the major difference. Another
Mm.
difference, and another difference I'll say is like the curriculum. It's different. So I'm speaking from someone who was a teacher in Nigeria. So if I compare the Nigerian curriculum to its curriculum, it's different. And I'm sure it's also different when you compare the Canadian curriculum to the,
Yeah.
it's different. So those are the differences that I think exist between these
Mm.
countries.
Wow, interesting. Thank you so much. I just remembered something. When I arrived during my orientation, I think one of those days I wore a sleeveless shirt. Like it was corporate, something that would, easily pass for the corporate work environment in Nigeria. And just how the warnings come, right? Hey, hi Chi. We actually don't like I just knew. I was like, okay, no problem. Like, no problem. It's just a lot of rules. But I think these are the things that help the country to just move smoothly and just keep everyone in check. I think
Yeah,
so. Hmm.
yeah.
Hi, Ifoma. Yes, I can see your chat. Thank you for joining in and thank you for your comments. Thank you. All right. So, what advice would you give to someone who wants to explore ESL teaching opportunities outside of Japan or
Outside
even
of
outside of Nigeria or anywhere?
anywhere. Okay, first of all, you should have good communication skills because it is important to get
Important.
a ESL teacher, right? So work on your CV, tailor your CV, highlight your strong points,
Hmm.
just that, and apply for jobs. It's very easy to apply for jobs, but your skill determine if you'll get the job or not.
Job, right?
Also, be open to learning. Be open to learning. I cannot overemphasize the importance of learning.
Learn.
It's very having that growth mindset. You want to grow. You want to learn more. It's very important because it will help you in any area of your life. That
True.
is, yeah, that's it. So just go for it. Apply
Mm.
to different companies. Apply to different schools. Just be bold about it, because I do receive messages from people that will tell me, you know what, I applied before. They get discouraged when their applications are being rejected. Like,
Hectic, yeah.
so if your application was rejected, you don't have to get discouraged. You don't have to be discouraged. Keep applying. Just keep applying. It can take a year or two, but go for it. Do
Mm.
not limit yourself. Yeah.
True. You're right. Thank you so much. So, how can teachers abroad balance professional growth and cultural adjustment of living overseas?
Well, that's you have to be intentional, because I'm talking from experience. Someone living in Japan, the work culture is really, it can be draining if you let it. So you just have to be intentional with your life. You have to be intentional with balancing your work life, your personal life, and your professional life. Everything has to be balanced. Right.
Mm.
Today I got back. I went out with a friend and I just got back because I was like, look, I can't kill myself because work has been. So I told myself, so I'm learning to balance my personal life with work. Just
Work.
work, very important. So you just have to be intentional. That is it. Make out plan, because nobody's gonna tell you, oh, do this in the morning, do this at night. When you
Mm.
come get a job and you start working and you see how busy your life is, how hectic the job is, you have to slow down and advise yourself to take
Mm.
when
Because
needed.
no one is coming to save you. You have to save yourself.
So that's why I said you have to be intentional. You have to tell yourself, I have to do this every morning. I have to do this. I have to go out once or twice a month. You just have to, because it's important, else you go crazy. Because I'm telling you, like, it's really crazy here, but just intentional. Yeah.
Hmm. See this going out thing, like even back in Nigeria, it was never my thing. Like I can actually count the number of times I ever went out.
Mm.
And when I got here, I was so lucky to meet a girl here in my city. She
Okay.
literally just forced me. I think that actually opened my eyes to actually see that it's really not a big deal and it's kind of relaxing. She was
Exactly.
like, you know what? Let's go. She took me to a Christmas party. She took me to, like, she literally was just forcing me to everywhere. And right now I am really grateful. She eventually moved to another prefecture, but now I can just, you know what, today I'm not staying at home. I dress up and I just go out. But she gave me that confidence. And I think it helps me a lot, you know.
Yeah. It's very important. It's really
Mm,
important. Else you
mm,
just be stressed in your house. And like you said, no one is coming to save you. No one cares. You're all alone.
mm,
So you have to
true,
take
true.
intentional.
Mm. Thank you so much. Now, I think this is one of the highlights of tonight. So, could you please highlight a few countries outside Japan where teachers can apply to teach?
Okay, there are so many countries that are looking for teachers. So this is to say
Oh,
there's opportunities outside Japan.
interesting.
Yes, so there are opportunities in Australia, in Canada, in America. I know people who are teaching in these countries. Also, Taiwan. I made a video about that. I know a Nigerian who is working in Taiwan as a teacher.
Taiwan.
I not
Oh,
too more, but yeah, she's in Taiwan. There are opportunities in Dubai. There are opportunities in Vietnam. I know someone who teaches in Vietnam, also in China. So there are opportunities almost everywhere. Like I mentioned, US, Canada, Australia, as long as even Netherlands, Netherlands,
okay.
New Zealand. Yes, New
New
Zealand.
Zealand. Okay.
Yeah, for teachers, and you can get the PR if you apply. You can get. PR and get a job at the same time. So there are
Mm,
opportunities around the world. All you need to do is just to research and ensure you have the requirements, because these countries have their requirements, so criteria that you must meet. So ensure you
mm,
meet the criteria, you have your documents, and you know, just explore. Japan is not the only country you can
mm,
teach. Yeah.
mm. Okay, so talking about the criteria, I am thinking, I don't know, I think Japan has a kind of relaxed criteria for teaching. So could you talk about that a little? Applying to all these other countries and applying to Japan.
Yes, Japan is, it's actually less difficult to get a teaching job in Japan than it is in other countries. And but recently it hasn't been that easy, because
Right.
I think because maybe I can't really say the reason, because so many people I know have been trying, and they'll tell me okay, they didn't get the job and everything. So it, compared to before, about last year or 2 years ago, it has really, dropped. The rate at which Africans get opportunities have really, dropped. It's not like before. It's not
Before
as easy, but it's still doable. It's still achievable. So this should not discourage anyone.
anyone, right? Mm.
Japan has a very, relaxed, like you said, way of coming here. Their criteria is not so difficult. All you need is a bachelor's degree, and as long
Agree.
as you can English, yes, you can get a job. It's
Mm.
possible. Very few countries ask for TEFL and other certificates, which is not so. It's not difficult to get.
Yet.
So yeah, it is. But if you are watching this video and you've been trying Japan and you feel, no one is getting back to you, they haven't gotten back to you since they promised, because someone is always in my DM telling me when I because when will they get back to me? It's been 6 months. It's been this, and I do not.
Whoa.
So some another person will say, okay, is it that they only recruit females, they don't recruit males? That's another thing, because
Yeah,
it's
yeah. A lot of people have asked me that. It's not true.
yes, it's not totally true, but in a way, it's kind of
Mm.
okay, because I think okay, let's not go there, but it's kind of true in a way, totally true. So it's a lot. So if you've been trying to come to Japan and it's not working, you can explore other countries. You can just try and get your documents, get the required documents, do the exams, and it's even easier. Well, I won't say it's easier, but I think it's even more rewarding to get offers in countries like New Zealand or Australia, because
Very
you get your
rewarding.
pay because of the PR package that comes with the job.
Mm.
So if you're in Japan and it's not working, maybe you should try these countries because they have more benefits, I would say. Also, they are English speaking countries, so
Countries. Yeah.
it will be very
Mm.
easy to settle in.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Because even on Facebook, like a lot of people, like not a lot actually, but most of the people that reach out to me via DM telling me about, a lot, even under my post, people drop their comments talking about the certifications they have, the years of experience they have teaching and all of that. And I am wondering, why don't you explore beyond Japan? I think New Zealand and Australia, they are like really open right now. So if you have all of the experience, if you have the license, teaching license, I think that's like the major requirement. You have your teaching license, you have years of teaching experience. Why don't you just give it a shot? I think.
The fear, from my experience and from people I have been interacting with, I think they're afraid of writing IELTS, the exam.
Oh.
So that discourages a lot of
Mm.
Nigerians. That
Oh.
don't, they are all afraid of writing that exam for no reason. So that's the
Mm.
reason. For Japan, you don't need to write any exam. All you
You
need to
don't
do
need
is
to. Mm.
submit a certificate. So it's different.
I
Yeah, but
see.
I'll just advise anyone, take that bold step, write the exam, and
And just
just
go for it. Hmm. Hmm. True. Okay, I think we have some questions here before I move ahead to ask the other questions that I have with me here. This person says, I would like to know how an ALT in Japan can possibly develop themselves professionally through courses or possibly masters, since it's 8 hours work and how hectic or tedious the work might be. Okay, how can an ALT in Japan develop themselves professionally?
Okay, like I've mentioned, you have to be intentional. Honestly, I'm not gonna say, oh, you have to wake up at 8, you have to do this. You have to plan your life because this is Japan. Your schedule may be different from my schedule, definitely. And as ALTs, I feel you have more time to develop yourself because you have free times, you have times where you don't have classes, you have the holiday, the whole of August. I saw all the ALTs bawling on TikTok while I was going to work. So you have that free month, do what you have to do. Compared to us, I don't even have time for myself anymore.
Hmm.
You should create time for to work for yourself. So when you come back from work, you can say, okay, you can just take 1 hour per day to do something for yourself, to improve yourself, to develop yourself, do a course. If you want to do your masters, if you want to do part-time masters online or something, you can do that because you have time
You
actually.
need time. I think that works. That works.
Yeah, you have time, so it's possible. It's very
Hmm.
possible. So just create time or just plan your life, plan your time, your day, create a schedule. And I'd advise you to use at least 1 hour per day to work on your professional development. It has to be
Hmm.
a thing, right? So what you want to do, just work on it 1 hour per day. And
Yeah.
yeah, and work.
Just like you said, I think the easiest way, because she also talked about masters, I think the easiest way is just to go the online way. And I think you, like, as an ALT, you are not always busy. Even though, like, in my school, in my case, I am the T1, so I am responsible for my lesson planning, everything, but I still have time. So if
Hmm.
I want to do any other thing, I still have the time to do it. Sometimes my classes get cancelled, and even when my classes don't get cancelled, all, I don't teach all through the day. So I still have some time. So there's no way as an ALT in Japan you won't have at least 2 hours or 1 hour free time within the day. So you can just, you're right, you can just find something around there.
Yeah.
So thank you. So this Rachel asks, please, what are the other teaching opportunities outside of Japan? Oh, you've answered this already.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, you've answered this already. So, Miss Turat is saying, do you have colleagues that were able to travel with their kids as an ALT to Japan? And do they take Muslims? And is it religiously diverse?
Well, it's religiously diverse because I have a friend who's a Muslim and she goes to the mosque. There is a mosque in Tokyo. So I'm a Christian and I go to church. There are some churches in Japan. So Japanese are most of them are Buddhist and they go to the temple. So of course it is diverse. You have atheists as well in Japan. So
Yeah.
regardless of your religion, you can find a group or you can just find a worship center for yourself. So yes, it is. And if I have friends who moved with their kids, mm, directly I will say no because I'm not very close to them. But in my church, I know um some couple. Yeah, they're a couple.
Okay.
Okay, one of them came first and then brought the family later. So that's how it's done in Japan. You can't just move with your family at once. You have to come first. So I know an ALT who came last year. She has a child, but her child is still in Nigeria. So
Oh,
I hopefully she brings the child soon, but the child is not here right now because like I said, one person has to come first, then you bring the
first.
child. Yes, so if you're planning on bringing your child or moving with your spouse, just have it in mind that who has the job, the person who has the job has to come first. And after some months, you can then bring your spouse or child.
Hmm. You're right. I think I know two families, not really close anyways. Um okay, one actually came first and then applied and brought the
Mm,
the the family over. Then the other one is just someone I see on TikTok. she's here with her family and all of that. So yeah, I think it's possible. And about religion, I don't think there's really, everyone just does their thing here, right?
Of course, no restriction as long as you're not making noise.
Noise, exactly. Exactly. Noise. That's it. Okay, so thank you. All right, so I have another question here. So many teachers abroad focus only on the classroom. I mean, even back in Nigeria, this can actually be a thing because you have so much to do. You do not have, you do not have the time or the opportunity to even explore other things. So it's just about the classroom. I go to the class. So what would you say about maybe side hustle or other growth paths outside the classroom?
Okay, so I'll always say again, you have to be intentional because you need to be intentional about everything else. You will just end up working all your life without, having a side hustle or doing anything for yourself. So you have to just, think, okay, what do I want to do? If you have skills, you have to make use of your skills right now. Okay, so I want to take myself for example. I speak French, and
Yeah.
for a while I have not been able to. While I was in Nigeria, I was teaching French, privately and all of that. I was making more money, personal money, like side hustle outside my
Mm.
salary. But coming here, I'm like, okay, my French skills are just there. I'm not doing anything. What am I do? Recently, I'm starting a French class, an online class. In fact, I'll be starting next week. I have some
Oh,
students
nice.
outside Japan who have enrolled already, and yeah, I'm looking at getting more students from Canada. I mean, my students right now are, students who based in Canada right now. So I just thought about it. I can't be wasting my French where I can make money. To speak, I can write everything. So I can't be wasting that skills. I have to use my communication skills and make money. That is
Mm.
why about it. I was like, you know what? Let me just start this class. So you have to think about, look into yourself, look inwards and ask yourself, okay, what skills do I have that can
Exactly.
give me money? Is it writing? Is it tech? There are so many things you can do right now. And I wouldn't even mention content creation because
Mm.
honestly, before you make money from there, it will take a while. I don't know if you've
It is
started, hey, I'm not earning on, I'm not earning directly on, you know, TikTok or YouTube or stuff like that, except collaborations and all of that. But apart from that, I'm not earning from there. So I won't even say content creation. That is if you're looking for something that will give you, cash immediately. Because
immediately. Hmm.
this content creation needs patience and consistency.
True.
So yeah, that is it. So just look inwards. What can I do? What do I love to do? What do I, you know, what can I do? What can give me more money? What is missing? So when I came to Japan, I had to ask myself, okay, so what are people lacking? What are women, what don't they have? Because coming here, you know what I do? Like sometimes I have to get things from Nigeria to ship here. As a lady, there are some things you can't find in Japan. There are some products you can't find in Japan.
Fine in
Because
Japan. Yeah.
yeah, I was like, it's okay. So you have to think, how can I solve a problem in my country? How can I
Hmm.
solve a problem in Japan? So that is how the idea will come. You have to ask yourself, what problems can you solve?
What can I do? Hmm.
Ideas on, the kind of side hustle to do, the kind of business you can do. And yeah, just it. But first of all, you have to ask yourself, what skills do I have? Use your skills to make money. If your skill is, like I said, apart from French, if you can sing, if you can do something, just think of how to use that thing to make money. If you're
Hmm.
good, write well, think of how to use it to make money. So
Money.
that
Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm.
So also, when you have found what you want to do, you have to create for that thing. Else, like I said, you have to be intentional. Else, you will just end up working.
You're
So you have to,
right.
because there are times I sleep at 1 a.m. right now. There are times I sleep at 2, and I'm like, okay, well,
What's happening?
working for my school, I have to work for myself, right? So it's okay. I won't do this forever. But yes,
Hmm.
for the money, you have to work. So
We have to.
your time into doing your personal stuff. It's important. So generally just plan life and be intentional. You.
Hmm. Thank you so much. I think we have other questions here. So, can an ALT that does not have a background or degree in education get a job in an international school just like you did?
Yes, it's so when you want to work in an international school, there are like two roles, right? So you have the option of being a homeroom teacher or a substitute teacher.
Okay.
So the substitute teacher is not always in the class. He or she is always, in different classes, assistant, just like a support teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can be sent to different classes or different campuses. For my school example, my school, we have different campuses. So if this campus is in need of an extra teacher, they can call you to come to that campus,
Go
stuff
there.
like that. So that is just it. So yeah, it's either you are homeroom teacher or um, a support teacher. And you can also be a homeroom teacher without having a degree in education. You can, it's possible. Yeah, just that you won't have the benefits because they have some extra pay. You get some extra pay if you have a degree in education.
In
Yeah,
education.
yeah,
Hmm.
that's just yeah. So
Oh,
yes,
that's right. Hmm. Thank you. Okay, so thank you, ladies, for this information. You're welcome. When should you apply for another ALT ACAWA job before your contract ends? Okay, I think this person is talking about maybe moving from one company to the other, from one school to the other.
yes, I think the best time to apply is now. September, October. This is a time where schools are recruiting and looking for teachers to fill in the position for April. So the best time is now. Just apply, and I won't advise anyone to just leave without ending your contract. So ensure you end your contract with your school at least for 1 year, at least 1 year. Then you can move. Yes, and if you want to move, like I said, the best time to apply is now. Best
Hmm.
time to now against April. So yeah, this is the time to apply.
Hmm. Thank you. Um, Lapie, hi. Okay, so if I may ask, please, if one gets ALT job in Japan, is everything fully paid for, both flight and accommodation?
No, it's not. Nothing is painful at all. So it depends though. If you're coming, I don't know. Okay, if I'm not Nigerian, you don't qualify for
Yeah,
this.
for jet. Hmm.
Yes, it's just the jet that they get to reimburse your flights and stuff like that. But if you're coming as if you're working for Borderlink and other dispatch companies, they won't pay your flight or apartment, nothing. So you have to come with your money to pay your bills. Yeah.
Hmm. And a lot of it.
Yes.
Okay, so looking back, what has been the most rewarding part of your journey abroad?
Personally, I would say it's just the professional development, the things I have learned. I constantly join in trainings at my place of work, which I believe is important for my professional growth. So I have learned a lot, like I said, and I'm still learning. So yes, knowledge is one. Also, getting to the fact that I can actually live in this country. It's something. I deserve a special award for that.
I think so. Me too.
Exactly, because I never knew I could survive in this country. I had fears. When I tell people, "Oh, I'm traveling to Japan." At first when I tell them, "Oh," then when I tell them, "I'm traveling," they'll be like, "Oh, really? Where are you going?" When I say Japan, they'll be like,
Like,
"Oh."
ah,
uh." So I was almost discouraged. Friend, like, how will I cope in this country? How do I live? And I had fears, and that was why I told you I was crying when I got to that station. When I
yeah, yeah.
was like, what do I do? Who do I call? So the fact that I have been able to live in this country, to navigate my way, to learn things without knowing anyone here, gives me that courage that I can live anywhere, I can survive
Hmm.
anywhere.
Anywhere. Hmm.
Yes, that confidence. Yeah, it's a good experience. So I don't really know why people are running to English speaking countries. Like most people want to
Yeah, it
leave their
just
country.
makes it a bit better, you know.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's easy. If you come here and if you can survive in Japan, you can survive anywhere. I don't
Anywhere.
can travel to any country and I'll feel scared right now because what's the worst that can happen? I've lived in Japan where
You,
there
you,
are
you've lived all the worst in Japan.
weather, the natural disaster, um language barrier, the work culture, the rules. You can't eat, you can't work, you can't be working and be eating. You
And
have to
we,
sit, you have to do this, you have to stand in the line, you have to do, so so I have been able to live in this country and follow the rules. So I don't think I will be scared to move to other countries or leave because I did it in Japan. So that courage, that you know, yeah, that courage is a rewarding experience for me. Actually, it makes me feel, you know what, you can do anything. So
anything.
that's another thing. Yeah.
Hmm.
Also, learning the language, the culture. You know, having to experience the beautiful culture, the beautiful places in Japan. Most of my friends live in the UK. They're not even enjoying what we're enjoying here.
Enjoying here, really. Like,
You
no. Sometimes
know,
you can't even explain it because they won't believe it. You know.
exactly. I don't think I'd like to live in the UK. I mean, I love Japan. Yes, it's not perfect. There, there's people will tell me, oh, earthquake in Japan, natural disasters and stuff like that. Yes, but generally, I really love this country. I
Yeah.
really feel it's safe and all of that. So yeah, I'm learning new cultures. And if you remember, I told you how I've been able to keep to time, how I've been able to
Mm,
follow rules, you know, putting my best foot forward at every given time.
time.
That mindset, my mindset has changed. So now I think like a Japanese, I work like a Japanese. I don't know if it's a
Right.
good thing.
It's
It
a
is what it
good thing. It's really a good thing.
is. Yeah, it is a good thing.
Hmm.
So that has been rewarded because I know when I leave this country, I won't be the same. I have really
Exactly.
learned,
And
shaped me
and
to be
that might even be a problem because you would always be punctual, you would always want to do things right, and you might just be wondering what's going on here. This is not like where I came from.
exactly. So that's culture has really, shaped me, and yeah, I am grateful for it. Yeah. So that's
Hmm.
it generally.
Thank you so much. I think we have a couple of questions here. So, being a substitute teacher, is it on contract too? Is working in an international school also on contract?
Well, yes, it is on contract because you have 1 year contract, and after that you can renew your contract, just like the ALT position. Yes.
Okay. Hmm.
So yeah, it's on contracts. Mhm.
Okay. Okay. All right. Does ALT contract get renewed every year?
It ALT, yes, it does. If you want to keep working for the company, you'll be asked, oh, if you want to continue, and if you do, it will be
Continue.
renewed. It's that's also one of the benefits of, or one of the rewarding experiences, I would say, in Japan. It's just this job stability. Once you
Hmm.
have a job, it's rare for them to, you know, fire you or something.
Yeah.
Before you get
Except
fired,
something.
that's
Hmm.
very, you must have maybe abused a child or something very terrible before you can get fired. Or maybe
Hmm.
you were late or something. But as long as you come to work, you do your job, you pay your tax, you just do your thing. Renewing your contract will not be a problem.
Hmm.
It's easy. So I just recently renewed my yeah. So not a problem at all. I renewed my visa, like my residence card. I didn't even
Card.
have to the immigration. I was just at work. I sent it to my manager, and at the end of the month, she was like, "Okay, come get your
Hmm.
residence card." As long as you do your job, you know, respect yourself. It
Yeah.
won't be difficult. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. Thank you. Okay. One last question. Can you suggest dress code for the professional picture and interviews? Does it have to be strictly suit on all stages of interviews or a shirt will pass? Suggest colors too. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
stretch will pass, but if you have a suit, well, like I said, always give your best. If you have a suit,
Best.
if you can professionally, why not? Of course. So it also depends on the company that is interviewing you, the
Mm.
interviewer. Because I remember there was when I used to do consultation, there's this company that was going to interview someone, and I told her that she should dress like she was working in the bank. You know how it work, how bankers dress in Nigeria,
Dress,
like
yeah.
that. And she did that. The reason I told her was because I said during the interview they'll ask you to stand up. they will ask you to maybe go back or something because they want to see how you're dressed. So I had to give her the hints, and of course she did. And after the interview, she was like, they actually asked her to stand up, stuff like that, which I feel is actually it's weird. Like, why would you ask someone? But it depends on the company. So you just
Mm,
have to be prepared. So if you have suits, go ahead and put it on. If you have a shirt, just dress professionally. Just dress professionally because you never can tell. So yes, put your best foot forward at every
mm.
time.
Every time. Every time. What about colors?
A colors, just go for white shirts. If you do have navy blue suits or black, gray, brown, just those cool colors. Those are
Mm,
professional colors. And you see
yeah.
everyone
Yeah.
colors.
Everywhere you turn to white and black. What?
Or navy blue.
Baby
And I
blue.
office, all of them, everyone was wearing white, navy blue, and we were all going different places of work. And I'm like, okay, this is a dress code. That white, black, navy blue, white,
Baby
gray,
blue.
like that. So just wear cool colors. Yes.
Yeah. No red, no yellow or anything flashy.
Just leave it, keep it calm and cool.
Yeah. Mm. Okay, so on my part here, except someone drops another question. So I think this is my last question for you. So, for young professionals that are dreaming of teaching or building something abroad, because a lot of people, some people actually see teaching abroad as just one of the steps to take to attain um, another goal. Why some actually really just want to have the experience of what it actually feels like to teach abroad. So, what advice would you give to anyone? Because I have someone, not even someone, I have a lot of people reach me in the DM. Oh, I'm in my final year. I'm trying to teach in Japan, or I'm currently serving, or I'll be done with my service in a month or 2 months' time, and I am thinking of coming to Japan. Can you tell me about, what's your advice? What would you tell anyone who is actually thinking of, coming abroad to teach?
Yes. So, like I said before, if you want to come abroad to teach, especially Japan, you have to, as an ALT or an ESL teacher,
Yeah.
you have to work on your communication skills. You should be able to speak English. Yeah, I know I'm saying this because people reach out to me, and then when I speak to them, you can't speak, or even the message when they send a message, I don't know if it happens to you. I can't even
Yeah,
so you
yeah.
have to work on that because it's very important. Also, when you come here, you have to be open minded. So even before you get the job, okay, let me start. When you work on your communication skills, go ahead and apply. Apply, tailor your CV to suit your role, make it as brief as possible. It should at least one page. It shouldn't be more than one page if possible,
Mm.
especially for freshers NYSC. Those who
Anyways,
just,
yeah.
yes, just make it as brief as possible and precise. So when you get the job, you come here, have an open mind, have this mindset to learn. So even
Mm.
if it doesn't matter if you want to if you want to teach for a while or forever, just have this
Ever.
mindset to learn. And when you, of course, because when you're given a job, you're expected to, do the right thing. So you can't come here and say, okay, because I want to work for just a few months or 1 year, let me just do anyhow.
Just do
So
anyhow. Mm.
just do anyhow. Always put your best foot forward. I keep saying it. Do your
Mm.
best. Yes. So have an open mind. Be open to the culture. Be open to meeting people. Be open to networking. You know. Also, have a plan to enjoy yourself. Whether you're coming to
Mm.
Japan, or wherever you're going to, have this mindset of balancing your work and your personal life. Ensure there's a balance. It's important because
Very
the
fun.
depression is real in Japan.
Mm.
And so take care of your mental health, especially if you're coming to teach in Japan. It's important. Your mental health is important. So intentionally take care of your mental health and
Mm.
just fun. That's
Yeah.
all.
Mm. Thank you. Okay, I think we have just a couple of questions here. If I'm sponsoring myself, what do you think the budget will be like?
Okay, so if you're applying, sometimes they'll ask you to have at least 600,000 yen, which is about 6 million naira. in your account. So in my time, we were asked to have at least 500,000. Now it's 600,000 yen. So that should be the budget, 600,000 yen. Just at least it could be more. Well,
Mm,
again, I'll say it all depends on it all depends on your your company, the apartment you will get, the what. Because when I came here, I don't think I've said this before. I actually lived in a shared house, so I didn't even have
okay.
so much. I didn't have to spend up to 500,000 yen to sort myself because my bills were very affordable because I didn't live in an expensive apartment. So that's story for another day. So it all
Mm,
depends your experience, what you will face when you come here. But just
mm,
have enough so you won't be stranded. Just have enough money, at least 600,000 yen.
1,000 yen. Mm,
Yep.
mm. Okay, thank you. I am actually looking for a visa sponsored job, everything fully paid for. Do you know the route I can take?
Visa sponsored job. So every job in Japan is visa sponsored.
Visa
I mean,
sponsored, yeah.
you get a job from Nigeria, your visa will be sponsored, and it's not even expensive. The visa is, I think, it costs about 30,000 naira right now for Japanese visa. So it's not
Oh,
difficult.
really? It was 12,500.
Yeah, during my time it was 10,300. So now it's about
Wow.
1,000. I heard. So
Wow.
and you only pay the fee if you're given a visa.
The
If you're
visa,
not,
yeah.
be returned. You won't. They won't even collect your
They
money.
won't ask, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So visa processing is very easy. It's not difficult. As long as you have a sponsor, which is your company, you won't
Yeah.
have any getting your visa. So all jobs in Japan are visa sponsored most
Mm,
times.
yeah. Yeah. Right. Okay, so do you also pay tax on your side hustles? Is it deducted automatically?
Well, it's not deducted automatically. So if you pay, it depends on the side hustle you're doing. So if you're teaching virtually, stuff like that, you're expected to declare. You're expected to go to the city hall and declare your income on your side hustle and stuff like that. And then you okay how much you need to pay for tax. Yes. So you have to declare that. It is expected, right? But generally when you work, your tax is reducted from your salary even before it gets in the account.
Hmm.
So everything is deducted. Yep.
Hmm. Thank you. Love from US. Thank you, Mercy. Last question, please. As an ALT, what are the possible side hustle one can engage in to support themselves?
Okay, so like I said, you have to ask yourself what skills you have. Use your skills to make money. So that's all. Ask yourself what skills do you have? And the second thing is ask yourself what problems can you solve in your
Hmm.
city or in your prefecture. Just think, what are we lacking? What it could be foodstuffs because getting African foodstuffs here is not it's not so easy. Yes, we buy online, but you can start something like that. It's an example.
Hmm.
You can get any foodstuff here easily. There's some stuff you can't even find online. Some
Yeah.
vegetables you can find online.
Hmm.
So you can do that. What are Africans lacking in Japan? Then think about that and you can, decide to start a business from that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you. What are some of the questions asked during one-on-one interview for demonstration?
For class demonstration, well, personal questions, they just want to know you. Just have it in mind that at every stage of the interviewer just wants you to speak. They just want to hear you speak. They want to assess how fluent you are in English. That's one. They want to know how interesting you are as a person and as a teacher. Because teaching English, you have to be genki. You have to be. It has to be.
Yeah, very everywhere.
So during your demonstration, class demo, you have to show them that you are an interesting person or an interesting teacher. So your class should be engaging. It should be fun. You should engage them. Those in your interview, try to engage them. Just like that. Do games. Just very simple thing. You don't need to teach something very difficult or something. It depends
Yeah.
on the group.
Hmm.
But I always advise use games or activities, fun games or activities to back up your, excuse me, to back up your the topic you're teaching, because that is what we're doing in the class, as ALTs. You
Yes.
just kind of out making them practice. So games that will allow students to practice and still have fun. So everything is just fun. It has to be interesting. So that
Hmm.
is it.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I think that's the last question. And okay, that's all for tonight. So thank you so much, Shallydee, for being a
So
part of this. I am so happy, and thank you so much for really being here and for taking your time to answer all of the questions. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this. And I look forward to another time to having you
okay,
some other
sure.
time. Okay. So thank you so much. And to everyone that tuned in tonight, I want to say thank you. If you are going to be watching this later, thank you so much. And I will see you next Saturday for another interesting discussion. And that is all for now. And bye for now. So, Shali, bye.
Bye.